Are you struggling with scattered mind smartphone syndrome? Is it leaving you in a low-energy slump? In this video, we expose the ID gremlin and the dopamine cycle that's fueling your smartphone depressive mentality. Learn powerful smartphone neutralization tricks and mental tactics to break this habit, reclaim your attention, and finally restore genuine mental clarity. We're glued to phones, tablets, non-stop feeds, and it's sneakily building this depressive vibe that messes with our heads in a bunch of ways. First off, isolation hits hard. This leads to endless scrolling, swaps, real hangouts for shallow likes and DMs, leaving you lonely even in a sea of online friends. Research from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology backs this. This is in reference to how social media time destroys perceived relationships. And in the end, you're left with millions of online users feeling invisible. Despite the fact they're communicating with others online, they still feel empty deep down inside. Then there's the distractions, which totally wrecks your focus. Most people grab their phones something like 150 times a day. Is over-the-top insanity. Yea, that kills anyone's attempt to expand upon their deeper thoughts, or what is referred to as living in the moment. Their scattered brain stops them from getting much stuff done, and that's not to mention thinking clearly, and boom. Yea, that starts creeping in. And what about those low moods? Notifications ping you with a quick rush of dopamine, and right after, you quickly find yourself stuck right back in the same slump you're trying to break free of. Now comes the mounting levels of frustration, and the attitude causing the individual to think, what's the point of all of this anyhow? Meanwhile, this smart device epidemic continues, where we're drowning in phones, tablets, that endless scroll, and it's quietly cooking up this gloomy fog that feels a lot like a bad headspace hangover. Picture that as a depressive vibe sneaking in the back door. Nothing clinical, just a sneaky mimic of the real deal. Studies from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology show heavy social media use shrinks your IRL crew, leaving you ghosted in your own life. Smartphone habits mimic aspects of depression by swapping real hugs for heart emojis. Then this distraction type turns your brain into a pinball machine. Deep focus? No, that's all gone. That scattershot mind breeds frustration and a why bother slump, another echo of low energy days. Finally, low mood rides the dopamine roller coaster. Notifications hit like sugar rushes. Then you crash hard. The American Psychological Association links screen binges to anxiety, crap sleep, and teen blues. Blue light nukes melatonin. Punching wrecks your back, and everyone's filtered highlight reel makes you feel like a loser. You're stuck in that loop, you're cut off from others, your thoughts are scattered, and no, you're dragging along throughout your damn day. See, these smartphones supposedly serve as a pick-you-upper, but lately that's far from the case. Because at one point or another, you'll find yourself stuck in a continuous deepened fog. So this would be the time to turn the tables around on this digital addictive tech, by setting some hard limits, and chase real-world wins to shake off. This is especially an issue within teens. Another harsh relation is the blue light that kills your melatonin, slouching hurts your body, and perfect Insta lives make you feel like trash. It's a nasty cycle, feeling cut off, scattered, and bummed out. Then you got these phones we're in love with, that temporarily fixes the issues of loneliness and depression. Ditch the loop with some real boundaries and old school fun. This isn't sustainable. So, what's going on around here? Where in hell did my trusty rusty algorithm go off to? Why, it's the vicious cycle built on dopamine and infinite scroll algorithms. Every like, every notification, every new piece of information delivers a tiny, addictive shot of dopamine. Yeah, that reward chemical. We get hooked on these tiny, predictable bursts, which trains our brains to prefer shallow, rapid engagement over deep, sustained focus. Then comes the 15-second hell. Yeah, that. And that brings us to the real, agonizing struggle many face on a daily basis. Although, most people don't want to deal with this growing issue, but they need to start focusing on what matters most. So close all the screen tabs. You put your phone on silent. Read a book for just 5 minutes. Right, that's 1 to 300 seconds and stop. You passed. See, that's how you break free. Just take it bit by bit. But there's times when your mind starts to drift back towards tech dependency. That's all due to a browsing awareness syndrome. Did you remember to pay that bill? Or are you guessing to check the weather? Because you're so damn bored already. 7 seconds. You pull back and say, wait, I'm hungry. Maybe I'll just check Instagram for a quick second. It's been 10 minutes, I deserve it. 14 seconds. Your brain, starved of its dopamine fix, now throws a cognitive tantrum. It floods you with anxiety about what you might be missing, a phenomenon psychologists call FOMO, fear of missing out. Or it simply tricks you into a physical action, a fidget, a stretch, a reach. You break. Not even 15 seconds of uninterrupted focus. It's a devastating feedback loop that reinforces the idea that you can't do this, that you need the quick fix. Think of your brain like a tug-of-war between the chill you and this wild ID gremlin who's straight up addicted to phone pings. That little monster isn't sweating abstract fizz, it's jonesing for the next dopamine hit from a like, a streak, or a viral clip. Every time you compulsively check your screen, the ID wins a round, yanking you out of real life and into the scroll hole. It starts innocently, a casual buzz in your pocket, and boom, ID's screaming open it. You cave, get that micro rush, and the gremlin's high-fiving itself. It's like you're treating your phone as if it's a slot machine. Miss a notification? Cue the mini panic. Know your heart is racing like you ghosted your own brain. This beast thrives on instant gratification, bulldozing patience, focus, or any plan that doesn't involve a screen. Deep talk with a friend? Well now, that's quite boring. Work that needs flow? Now your unchecked ID self wants another hit, now turning you into a puppet for push alerts. Over time, it rewires your reward system. Real wins feel flat compared to endless tabs. Alright, bringing this topic matter to a close, here's a few things to consider when managing. Most people struggling with low attention today aren't dealing with a psychological disorder. They're dealing with a device abuse use problem. Smartphones are engineered to divide attention into dozens of tiny fragments. With every ping, swipe, and scroll, the brain is pulled toward novelty, weakening the ability to stay with one task for more than a few minutes. Accepting that your shrinking focus is a mechanical consequence, not a personal flaw, which creates a realistic starting point for improvement. One can think of reduced attention like a soft depression of focus. This is like someone left in a temporary slump lacking mental strength caused by overstimulation. It's not clinical depression, but it mirrors the feeling of low motivation, scattered thinking, and mental heaviness. By using the metaphor lightly, you reframe the problem as a reversible state, not a permanent condition. You can lift it by intentionally interrupting the overstimulation cycle. The deliberate self wants focus, progress and calm. Instead of resisting the ID head-on, individuals can redesign their environment so the impulsive part has fewer opportunities to hijack attention. Small friction points, like placing the phone in another room during work, disabling non-essential notifications, or using grayscale mode, making a solid attempt to quiet the impulsive self without any of the dramatic fight. That constant switching conditions the brain to expect rapid rewards, making sustained focus feel unnatural. Understanding this gives individuals permission to stop blaming themselves and start adjusting the system around them. So, this brings us to a brief number of solutions that can help isolate the smartphone mentality and restore agency, positivity, and inner strength. Improving attention span comes from isolating the smartphone mentality, the assumption that you must be reachable, stimulated, or entertained at all times. When individuals break this mindset, even in short bursts, their attention begins to reset. The core solution lies in interrupting the overstimulation cycle and reshaping the environment rather than relying solely on willpower. The best case is for excessive phone users to take by making their phones less accessible. Use grayscale mode. Schedule boundaries and cognitive stamina builders. Rebuild the mind's ability to sit with a single thought and complete tasks without interruption. Also make a checklist to abide by. Taking a 20-minute daily phone-free work block, device-free meals, intentional boredom sessions, morning routines without screens, and scheduled check-in windows all rebuild cognitive stamina. Over time, these habits strengthen the mind's ability to sit with a single thought, complete tasks without interruption, and feel genuine mental clarity again. By reshaping the environment instead of relying on willpower, individuals regain their sense of control, positivity, and internal resilience, proving that attention isn't lost. It's retrainable. So are you ready to take back your focus? Start applying these D-Tech methods today, and prove to your ID gremlin that your deep self is in total control. Remember to keep track of this channel for more blast through that mental fog, for this is content that rejuvenates your mind. Make sure to check out the upcoming future sessions by becoming an MBM member. So, if you liked what you heard today about how to rewire your mind and D-Tech and detach from your phone, then smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe to Mind Blast Mechanics, where we dive deep into the observations that matter. Don't miss our next video, so make sure to tap that bell. Thanks for watching.